Did the March Mad Dash today down at North Park. It's one of those races I've been wanting to do for some years now, but never really got to. I don't know how much different it is for some other races down there. I would say it's pretty similar, like course-wise. But I finished first overall today in 18:44. Not my best time, obviously. Weather probably played a little bit of a factor in that. It's been raining all day. It's raining pretty good now. It was a wet course. A lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of puddles, but there were some here and there. Feet definitely got wet because you were running in rain, so your whole body was soaked. At least it was in the 40s, so it wasn't completely miserable like being a March, what is today, the 9th. So it's not terrible for March weather. Really wasn't windy, it was just that rain today, that cold rain. But as long as you were moving, you were fine. They had 3 distances, a 5K, 5 mile, 10 mile. I just did the 5. I didn't even sign up till like 11:30 last night. And I was looking at the weather and I was like, you know what, if it's gonna be raining and chance of pouring down rain, I was like, I can do a 5K, but I don't want to be out there for 40 minutes doing a 5 mile or whatever, an hour, 20 minutes doing a 10 mile. Let me see. Would have been a little less than that, whatever. Probably would have came in at like an hour, 3 hour, 4 for the 10 mile. But either way, it's here to there. So I just like, all right, just do the 5. Also save some money as well. I wasn't sure if I was actually even going to race this weekend with the rain, and that's why I didn't sign up until 11:30 last night, just because I'm a baby and I like to pick and choose now. It's the same, pretty much the same course that I ran for the 4 miler last month. Forever Yours 4 miler, just with like one little slight change, like you're not moving back, but it starts at that North Park boathouse. Don't ask me what these roads are, I can never remember what they are, but I know the one was like Tennis Court Row from North Park. Then we make a left on whatever road that is, till we hit like 1.5 miles, and then we come back. Instead of turning back into the Tennis Court Row, we continue around the loop back around the outside and come back in the boathouse way. Whatever roads they are, but whatever. But it's pretty flat the first half of the race. Well, we'll say like 2 miles. I mean, there is a little bit of a decline when you first start from the boathouse. There's a little bit of a change as you're heading out to that turnaround. But the real change is after you pass that Tennis Court Row road. That's where that hill is. That's where I actually died at that Forever Yours 4 miler. Sort of just got sick and gave up after like that. But this time it was going in reverse. Even though it's still the same incline, it's still a hill that you could sort of feel. But whatever. I knew what to expect this time. I just handled it pretty good. Didn't know what my competition was going to be. I really didn't recognize anybody there. There was a few guys that looked pretty serious at the beginning, but I pretty much ran by myself the whole race, at least for in the 5K part. There was one dude, well, when we started, I took off and I was dropping probably low mid 5s, because I felt good, and I just wanted to see what the field would be and see who was going to try to keep up or try to pass me right away, just to try to weed out the field a little bit. That way I can get a good judge of the field to see who was going to be breathing heavy, who was going to be pushing, who was capable of doing this. Or they were just going to let me like go out there and turn and burn, and not challenge me. So I wanted to do that little filling out process early on. I heard footsteps behind me, but I didn't look. I was just going to let things play out, because the first couple tenths, I was just like, well, whatever, we'll see what happens, and if we have to push later, if I have the energy, then we will, but don't do it now. Just go out hard, but not red line type mentality. That guy ended up passing me I don't know, we'll say, I can't remember. Yeah, it had to be before the end of that tennis court row. So we'll say with like 4/10 into the race, he passed me. But I knew he was not in the same race as me because I saw his bib. So I wasn't too concerned. So I was going to use him a little bit to pace off of the draft. Because when I heard him behind me, he was really close. And I was like, damn it, he's drafting me. I was like, that fucker. But at the time, I didn't know what race he was in. And he was running pretty good. And then after we jumped on that other row, because we passed that, like, we'll just call it a T for reference, since I had to like come back through it. I was just watching him a little bit. And then after that, I did pass him back up. Maybe about a mile in, maybe a little bit less. We'll say, I would say between 0.9 and a mile, I think, is when I passed him. I believe it was before the mile marker. I could be mistaken. But I just figured if I'm doing the 5K, I don't want to hang back too much, at least not until the turnaround, to see where the field is in comparison to me. Since I knew he was pretty strong and he wasn't in the same race, I wasn't really competing with him. So I was like, all right, you got to push a little bit, bank some time until you see the turnaround. So I did pass him. And as we passed the water stop, and then like I think it's like another 50 yards till the actual like turnaround for the 5K. I forget what I said to him, but I said finish it strong or something like that. I was like, take it home. One of those two. I knew I was going to say one of those, but I don't remember which one I said. So whatever. And then after the turnaround, I looked, because I was watching people's bibs, like the next couple people, like there wasn't like a mass crowd coming yet. There was just a few people. So I'm looking at people's bibs, and I had maybe 20 seconds, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds from the next person I saw, 5K bib, because the bibs were different colors. Like 5K was black, 5 mile was yellow, and green was the 10. So I could sort of pick out who was who. I was like, all right, if we're already like a mile and a half in, I got 20 seconds. I'm sort of confident, but I don't want to get cocky, because I knew that hill, like last time, it killed me. Even though it's nothing, it was just something stupid that I did. But this kid who was in second place at the time, I remember him saying at the start, when he was asking some other people about pace, it was actually his first race. So I wasn't really concerned, because I was like, all right, maybe he doesn't know all like the little tricks of the trade yet, so that gives me a good advantage. So I was going to use some tricks of the trade later if I needed to, but I just kept running decently hard. And just, I don't want to say a gap, because I really didn't put a bunch of gap between me and the rest of the field, as people were like coming behind, or well, heading out, I was like passing them back. I did use this other runner who was just out for a run. He was like wearing a green shirt as a rabbit until I passed him up. So just one of those things, like I wanted to chase somebody down. I picked somebody out because he was already, that person was probably like 20 seconds ahead of me, but they weren't in the race. They were just running around the park. So using them as a rabbit to chase down helped me a little bit stay motivated and just actually make the race go fast. The race really did seem to go fast today, so that helped. The one issue I did have was my MP3 player. I pissed with it a little bit, and the sound wasn't 100% when I started, but then I ended up fixing it. Not that that's a big deal. I just wanted to listen to some music because I didn't hear myself breathe. But when we came back around the curve, like that tennis row, or to keep going around that hill, I looked back and I still had that 20-30 seconds, and I think that's about 2-3 into the race. It seemed to be about right, 2-3 about into the race. I was like, all right, we got this from here. Just don't do nothing stupid, because I figured that hill was going to be another equalizer. It's like pull back a little bit on that little incline, and then look back once you crest it to see how close second place was, and go from there. That's what I did. Just playing it smart, I guess, if you want to call it that. So then once I crested it, I turned it on a little bit more again after having pulled back for that hill. The top of the hill is probably 255 to 26 range, because I was looking at my watch a little bit and I was like, all right, you got like a half a mile left, you got like a 20-ish second lead, you just got to stay steady, because he's staying steady, so don't do nothing dumb, it hurts your chances. And that's what I did. I didn't want to risk blowing up or redlining, and then I just like cruised into the finish line, which is, as you're coming back into the North Park Boathouse, you had to, you went down like the main drive, but then you had to do like a little U around some cones to come into the actual finish line. Trying to think anything else. That's about it. There was a lot of night crawlers out on the course, even in the parking lot today. I did have to park far away, dude. It was like a 3/10 of a walk just to get my bib this morning. I was like, God damn it. So I had to get a nice far away parking spot, but I was actually able to piss behind my car. And I forgot, and I remembered to wear my bib today, and Matt actually joked about making sure I had it on at the start line. So I didn't screw that up today. I'm gonna make sure I don't do that again. Other than that, I'm glad I went. Here's the medal. This was one of the reasons why I came today. Looks like a tape measure. It's got a cool like tape measure-ish. Well, I guess it is a tape measure for the ribbon. Sounds kind of cool. I'm just happy I won today. You know, I always say it, I get lucky. Well, I get more lucky than I am good. Today was a prime example. 1844 is not really a spectacular time, even for me. I just happened to be able to win with that time today, and it actually snaps my losing streak. I haven't won since October 28th, and this is March 9th, so that's the longest I've gone without winning a race since I started winning races. So I'm happy to get that off my back, because it was starting to wear on me a little bit. I can't remember what this race benefited, so I can't tell you that. But I think the shoes did help a little bit. keep me pushed forward. Wasn't really motivated to run or race. I wasn't energized when I started. I just basically went through the motions. The pace was what? 5:44 for first mile, and what, 6, and I think 6:07 for miles 2 and 3, and then like 57 seconds for that last like tenth of a mile. But I actually think it was like 0.15 on my watch, so just a tad long. But whatever. It's not great splits. I should have been able to do a couple more, well, at least one more 5 minute, under 5 minute pace. But luckily I didn't need to. I think that's it. Pretty good recap. I won. Glad I went. Got a cool medal. I got a $25 gift card for Pro Bike and Run for winning. So I'm gonna get another 1 or 2 of those so I can get another pair of shoes. It was a pretty decent crowd. I'd say a couple hundred. It's hard to tell. Well, I would say it looked like a couple hundred. Not sure how many were in each race. But yeah, whatever. Oh, the 5 milers. How did they do it? I think they looped farther out of North Park and then came back in to the finish line. So where we turned to the right, come back in like near that, well, where we popped out of that tennis row, they actually kept going straight for like another mile out and around and then circling. And then the 10 milers had to do 2 full laps of the course. So I got to stand at the finish line watching people go out for their second lap, get some clips, and then I got to see the 5 milers finish a lot of the 5K. Well, I'd say I saw most people finish today, even the 10s. Took a bunch of clips as well. But I started getting cold at the end because I was wet. So I said to hell with it. But I did see top 3, the 10 mile finish, male and female. I think I went live for the top 3 male and top 2 female. Other than that, should be about it. It just got to be miserable and wet standing there. Even though I did change, I actually had my waterproof jacket, I had pants on, because I went and changed real quick, because I figure with this rain and stuff and still being in like mid 40s, as soon as I cooled down I was going to get cooled quick, so I didn't want to risk it. I don't think I missed much. I was probably back down within 5 minutes. Whatever, that's my March Mad Dash race recap. Finishing first overall in 1844. Should have been, I would say 17s, but it is what it is.